The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
The Heilige Sar Shalom of Belz was once traveling on his way back home to Belz for Shabbos, and a storm overtook them, and they had no choice. He told his wagon driver, "Pull over, we got to get to the nearest inn." They came to the closest town they could. They came to some random inn, and the Sar Shalom was stuck there for Shabbos. Without his Hasidim, the Sar Shalom, of course, knew that anywhere he ends up is because Hashem has a reason for him to be there. Friday night, the Sar Shalom has his Friday night meal, Kiddush, Hamoitzi, whatever he had with him. Finishes his meal, and the Sar Shalom was a huge Talmid Chacham, a Torah giant. What does a Torah giant do? It doesn't matter if they're in the middle of nowhere. They always have Torah. The sweet, sweet Torah. What's he going to do Friday night? He's going to stay up the whole night and learn. What else does he want to do? So he takes out his Svarim and he sits down and he begins to learn. And as he's sitting there learning, he hears from one of the rooms in the inn, somebody else is learning. In this random town, in this random inn, somebody else is learning, and he stops and he listens. And he could hear somebody breaking their teeth over the first psukim, the opening verses of the Chumash. Bereshis bara Elokim. In the beginning, Hashem created. And he's listening, he's captivated. It's something so sweet. He senses such holiness in what he's hearing, and he listens. And it goes on. This fellow's not stopping. An hour goes by, and this fellow is slowly breaking his teeth, going verse by verse, pasuk by pasuk. 2 hours go by. It's now 3 a.m, and he still hears this person slowly making their way, pasuk by pasuk, through the Torah. The Sar Shalom is entranced by the sweetness and the holiness of what he's hearing. 4 a.m, the door opens, and the Sar Shalom is shocked to see that a soldier walks out, a soldier from the Tsar's army. And the soldier is shocked to see a rabbi standing outside the door. And the Sar Shalom says to him, "My friend, who are you and what is going on?" And the soldier said, "Just a very, very simple person. And I was taken as a little kid by the Tsar's army." He said, "And as they pulled me away from my mother screamed out to me, 'Never forget that you're a Yid. Never forget that you're a Jew.' And then I was taken away, but my mother's words rang in my ear. And I would review, I only learned a little bit. The elementary level of Chumash as a little child, I would review as often as I could. The Chumash, the verses, what I could. But time went on, and obviously it got harder and harder. Harder and harder to remember." He said, "But I heard recently that my mother passed away. And so I recommitted myself. I need to get back to that Torah. So I asked my commander, can I take off Saturdays? I'll work the night shift, which is exhausting and dangerous. I'll work the night shift, just can I have off Saturday?" And my commanding officer said, "Yeah, he thinks I'm going off to be drunk on Saturday. But instead I come to this inn and I stay up the whole night, breaking my teeth, word by word, fighting to reclaim the Torah that I had as a child, fighting in honor of my mother to reconnect with the Torah." The soldier left, and the Sar Shalom started weeping, crying and crying. And he turned to those with him and he said, this soldier's learning, this battle for the most basic level of connection to Torah, his fight to remember how to translate a few psukim in the Torah that he learned as a kid, is sweeter to Hashem than the karbanos, the sacrifices of the Beis HaMikdash, of the temple itself. He said, this is the sweetness that Hashem has from the Jews in exile in Golus. Sweeter than even the worship in the Beis HaMikdash. Crying, the Sar Shalom, the great revered tzaddik, crying over the greatness of this soldier. So my friends, if we sign up to be that soldier, sign up to be a soldier, let it be that soldier. The soldier that fights to stay up at night, to read some sukkim, to gain a few inches of ground, to reclaim some of our lost holiness, to hear the words of our mother, to hear the words of our Shechina Kedosha calling to us, Hashem calling to us, don't ever forget you're a Yid. It's Elul, come back. Don't forget who you are. And if we suit up and come back and push to remember those, the joy in the battle, know that at that time, my friends, you keep your eye on what you're fighting for and you keep going step by step. Know that you're lighting up the world.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org